영원히 stay gold and never let go.
Hi, as you can see, we're going to unbox the Map of the Soul 7 albums, and this is a voiceover. What started as going to be just another piece of my February K-pop haul is now getting its own video because I realized I had more to say than I initially thought. You will not be seeing the sweepstakes cards or the QR code cards because they're mine, and what is the point? Now let's begin the lead up. So it seems like it's been forever since they started teasing us for this album, giving us videos for Shadow, pre-releasing Black Swan, and eventually Ego. Now, I liked Black Swan when I first listened to it, but I wasn't actively listening to it like some of the other songs they'd released before the album. And I couldn't even tell you what Shadow or Ego sounded like, or what the MVs looked like. I only watched them once and I moved on. Eventually, they released the album specs, and we found out this album was going to be significantly larger than any album they've done before, not including the special edition of School Love Affair. Now for some disappointments. I've always been very excited for new BTS releases since Dark and Wild, but I just wasn't really feeling the same excitement for this comeback. I guess this just had to do with the fact that I didn't really care for the pre-releases we'd gotten for this rollout. Even without the same level of excitement, though, I was still keeping my hopes relatively high for the 21st. I made sure I was up to date with everything they released on Twitter, from the concept photos to the track list. Now the album is finally out. Before I bought the album at Target, I woke up in the morning and I listened to the entire thing to see what the sound of this album was going to be. What came was a mixed bag of emotions, some highs and some lows. This album was so all over the place with sounds that there was really nothing predictable when it came to guessing what style the next song was going to sound like. They went from a dark, trap-sounding Black Swan to a Shawn Mendes-esque filter to an almost Justin Bieber-styled My Time, followed by a full-on Troye Sivan Louder Than Bombs. Yes, Troye Sivan wrote the song, and it definitely sounds like something he would sing. I'm not saying that the album has to have a cohesive sound. If each song sounded like the one before it, it would have gotten boring very quickly. This isn't really a complaint, just an observation. If you come for me in the comments about the sounds and genre of the songs, I swear. I skipped the first 5 songs because I'd been listening to them since last year, so we skipped ahead to track number 6, Shadow. On a side note, though, you included 5 of the Persona songs and completely left out my good sis Microcosmos and my good Judy Home. Justice for Home. Justice for Home all day. Shadow to On, I was a little underwhelmed. The songs weren't terrible. BTS has never released a terrible song in my opinion, but they were far from something I liked on a first listen, like most of their releases in the past. Finally, we got to Ugh, and I saw a shift in the music in a direction I liked more, with songs that evoked more emotions from me. Ugh was a badass, hard-hitting hip-hop song where the rappers were doing nothing but letting us know how it's done. Regulate. This came as a bit of a shock to me because controversial opinion, but the ciphers have never been my go-to on any album they've been put on. They've always been my least favorite song. Maybe it was the way in Ugh that Suga sounds so rough and gruff that sold the song for me. Seriously, the growl and deepness of his voice, that is some panty dropping material right there. Then the vocal team gave us 0 O'Clock, which was a beautiful song, which led to a string of other beautiful sounding songs. Taehyung's very personal inner child was such an anthemic song. The lyrics were so beautiful, and the way the instrumental flowed. This is the song you have to see in a concert setting and just have the music surround you. Then we got to the all too cute Veeman duet Friends. These lyrics took me all the way out. After Jimin said, "Hello, my alien," I was sold. He said, my. Not yours, not ours, my, with his whole chest. There is just so many moments in the lyrics that put a smile on my face, especially the line, "You're my soulmate." That is a true brotherhood right there. That's a true friendship. Friendship goals. This is my favorite song at the moment off the album. Following was the pop soft rock Moon, sung by Jin. I love a good Jin solo because Jin doesn't get the recognition he deserves as a vocalist, and he's my second favorite in BTS, so we always got a cape for Jin. We were riding high, and the momentum kept going with the impeccably produced Respect. Something about the instrumental for Respect reminded me of a song like Whaley 52, a sound BTS has relatively moved away from aside from Home last year, which was a true treat. You're lying if you say otherwise. Home was that girl off of Persona, and I will continue to say that. Then we got We Are Bulletproof, The Eternal, which was probably the song all of us were looking forward to the most after we saw the track list, because that gave us all flashbacks to We Are Bulletproof Part 2. Off to Target. I'd already made up my mind that I wanted to buy more than one version. Probably buy all of them. I still might buy versions 2 and 3 at a later time. We'll see. I don't really feel obligated to, but you never know what may happen in the future. Before I'd left for Target, I'd skimmed through an unboxing to see the gist of what it looked like, and I was curious about the photo book, quote unquote. I knew we were in for something different, and something that we were definitely not expecting. Fast forward, we got to Target and they had the album on the shelf, minus one of the versions. I picked up 1 and 4, as you can see, since they were the 2 I liked the most. I thought the covers were the cutest. Version 1, girl, that Fairy Eevee Evolution realness. I knew the album was big, but seeing it in person, it was shocking at just how big this really was. Opening the album when I got home to look at the contents in more detail, I got to the monstrosity that was the promised 36-page photo book. When we got the album specs, it was told to us that there was a 36-page photo book. Now, the definition of a book is a written or printed work consisting of pages that are glued or sewn together along one side. Emphasis on together. Together. Where is they glue, much less the sewn spine? It honestly feels like we were all the way played. This is not a book. This is a folded collection of magazine posters. I wouldn't have had such a big issue with this if it was marketed to us as posters. But the quality of the paper makes the photos come out looking less than what it probably could have been if it was printed on quality paper. Anyways, we were expecting a book. After some Twitter digging, I saw that some armies a while back had been harassing Big Hit to make their albums more eco-friendly because we can't waste materials, because our earth is heating up and resources can't be taken for granted. This is all true and dandy, but this is far from eco-friendly. Sure, the photo paper they used is, I think, organic or something like that, not actual paper, or so I've been told. But they still used so many resources to make the gigantically thick for no reason lyric book, and the coloring page, to the postcard, to the photo cards, to the album notes, which are probably just going to be put in another book at a later time, and stickers. And then they had to make the sheer size of the outer case alone. Now, let's factor in the mass amounts of people who probably bought the album online from wherever they buy their albums from. Think of all the bubble wrap the seller has to use to make sure these gigantic albums get to you in one nearly perfect piece. So, just how eco-friendly is this album packaging after you factor in all those costs? Not as great as you would like to quote-unquote claim when you're defending everyone who's against it. And I want to touch briefly on the voices of us upset fans who are stating their opinion in a mostly respectful way about how they're disappointed in the album packaging. Nowhere did they rag on the songs, complaining about them, or complaining about the members. No, just the packaging design and its flaws. Now cue to some of the ARMY keyboard warriors who just can't accept that we would be so ungrateful and have something not positive to say about the album. Big Hit had a plan and we should all just go with it. Don't ask questions, don't be concerned, just support the album. How ungrateful can you be? We can only say nice things if we're true fans of BTS. This type of mentality is cancerous and needs to be stopped. We have a right to say what we want, especially if we bought the album expecting one thing and getting another. It's my money. Let me repeat that. It's my money. I have every right to say what I want since I chose to spend my money on this. I want to support BTS and listen to great music. So I spend money on said music. We can all disagree or agree. We can say what we want, no questions asked. And we should feel free and safe to voice our opinions. Stop making everything so personal. Just because you love every aspect of everything and can never find faults doesn't mean all of us feel that way. I'm not you, you're not me. I'm no less of a fan than you are just because I had a few complaints. And I can probably say I've been a fan for way longer than a majority of these keyboard warriors, bandwagon BTS fans who probably never got to experience the great packaging that was a Young Forever or a School Love Affair. Talk about good packaging. So, in conclusion, I know a lot of what I said towards the end might have hurt some of your feelings, but I'm not a fake ass bitch, and I speak what's on my mind. Most of the time, I try to be respectful about it. Is the album worth the $24.99 I had to pay, not including the tax? Not exactly. The amount of photos we got is kind of disappointing. We all love these albums for supporting our faves and gushing over the lengthy photos we get in the album. I'll also continue to say until I'm blue in the face that this does not need to be as big as it was. Packaging issues aside, I am liking the music on this album. Can't nobody tell me nothing about songs 12 to 18. Like, those are all bops and are songs I'm going to have on repeat for the rest of the year. The boys clearly worked hard on these songs, and that deserves to be celebrated full-heartedly. At the end of the day, BTS is a hardworking, very talented group who I've been a fan of since they introduced the members in their first teaser photos on Twitter. Back when V was blonde, and I was like, why is this poor kid's name V? But damn it, he is so cute. I need to know more. Until they release an album where I can't connect to the music, which I hope never happens, knocks on wood, I'll continue to support them. This is no way, in any shape or form, a bad sounding album. They make some of my favorite music in K-pop. Yes, they are a K-pop group at the end of the day, whether you like to claim so or not. And we are finally at the conclusion. Anyways, I'm done with this discussion video essay. Please leave your thoughts and opinions and we'll discuss them respectfully in the comments. Like I said, these are all my opinions and you do not have to agree with everything I said. But if you are going to be on some disrespect, don't think I'm going to just sit there and take it because, girl, you best not know I'm not the one. Okay. All right. So, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Peace, bitch.